At 5:03 p.m., I call the City of Lawrence Police Merit Board Commission to order for a special meeting. Okay, Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Garten, if you would lead us, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, ma'am. We have Mr. Crouch via Zoom. We have Ms. Powers, Ms. Garten, and myself present. We do have a quorum. You may continue. Any comments from commission members? Mr. Crouch?
No, sir.
Ms. Powers?
No.
Ms. Garten?
None.
Now we come to approval of the minutes of the special meeting we had on April 19th, 2021. It was brought to my attention earlier this week that there is a correction that needs to be made in those minutes. And in order to properly make those corrections, we are also going to have to open up the rules and regs for an amendment. So at this point, I'm going to entertain a motion to make a correction to the Mayor Commission rules to reflect the proposed correction that the chief will read to us.
So moved.
I have a first, I have a second.
I'll second it.
I have a first and a second. Okay, Chief, your proposal, the correction, please, sir.
Yes, sir. Drawing your attention to the minutes of the special meeting on April 19th on 2021 of the Police Merit Commission. If you'll go down about 2/3 of the way down on the minutes where it starts out by saying Police Chief Hoffman and Captain Schneider discussed changes in the language and percentage numbers in sections B, C, D in Article 4. The changes include: the first bullet point says weighting of certain components for the testing process. The next bullet point is the point that I would like to correct to reflect our intent, and that was, I will read it as it says, as it's printed now. An officer seeking to take the promotional examination for sergeant shall have been an officer for a minimum of 5 years. Our intent was for that to read, an officer being promoted to sergeant shall have been an officer for a minimum of 5 years. And then the remaining bullet points we have no changes to.
Okay. Just as a point of order, because what I received from the captain versus what you just cited.
Yes.
You're using in hers, she uses a member being promoted to sergeant must have been a member for a minimum of 5 years.
That is correct.
Okay.
You are correct. It should be member.
Okay, so we
So
wanted
put member instead of officer.
so we wanted to read,
Yeah, sorry about that.
for clarification, Section B, 2 sub B, a member being promoted to sergeant must have been a member for a minimum of 5 years. Do I have any discussion on the change? Mr. Crouch? Ms. Powers?
No.
No.
Ms. Garten?
No.
Then the chair will entertain a vote to accept the amendment, to have that changed as read.
I motion to accept the amendment.
I thought we already did that motion, didn't we?
We had to have a motion to open it up now. We're just doing a roll call vote.
Okay.
So Mr. Crouch, we're on a vote. Yay or nay?
Yay.
Ms. Garten?
Yay.
Ms. Powers?
Yes.
Myself, yay. And
Okay.
Mr. Henderson is not present. On that, I would then entertain a request to have the minutes corrected to reflect the same language that was just approved in the previous vote.
I have a question on the next
Yes.
bullet point where it says I put an officer, should I put a member there too? In the minutes that I did, the minutes.
On an officer being promoted to lieutenant.
Should I change that to a member also?
I would recommend that. Captain Schneider, are you clear on that question?
No, I didn't hear what Kathy said.
On the,
Yeah, so on the third bullet point in the minutes, it says an officer being promoted to lieutenant. That should read a member being promoted to lieutenant, correct?
It should read as sergeant being promoted to lieutenant.
Okay. Yep. Same.
change both of them.
No. The third point should say a sergeant being promoted to lieutenant.
A sergeant.
That's a more specific term.
Okay.
Okay, on that note, yeah, we just made a change, folks. I will entertain a motion to approve the change from an officer to a sergeant in the next bullet point to reflect in both the rules and regs and the minutes. Do I have a first?
So moved.
I have a first, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a first and a second. So now we will take a vote to have the minutes reflect the proper language that was just approved in the prior votes under Section B, 2A, and I believe B, if I'm not mistaken. A roll call vote. Mr. Crouch?
Yay.
Ms. Powers?
Yay.
Ms. Garden?
Yay.
Myself, yay. Mr. Hendricks is not present. Motion carries. Okay. All right, unfinished business, there is none. We'll now come to the new business, which comes before us for the special meeting, and determining the minimum passing standard for the written exam and the filing of the written examination results. I know for Ms. Walton was kind enough to disseminate the information provided by Captain Snyder and the letter of recommendation from the testing facility. Chief, is there anything you'd like to add before we move for discussion?
Only that I concur with Ms. Emerson, the Director of Testing for Public Safety, and her analysis and logic in coming to the conclusion of the minimum passing score.
Captain Snyder, as our appointee, do you have anything to add, ma'am?
I'm with the chief. I concur with Amy.
Chief, can you translate? Because did she just say she concurs, I believe?
She agrees.
Okay, thank you, sir. She is still very muffled. Okay. At this point, we will open this for discussion. Any discussion, Ms. Powers?
No.
Ms. Garten?
No.
Mr. Crouch?
No.
Okay. So under new business, determining the minimum passing standards for the written exam, the chair will entertain a motion to accept as presented.
So that's at 81.717%.
Correct.
So moved.
I have a first, I have a second.
I'll second it.
I have a first and a second. At this point, we will call a roll call vote. Mr. Crouch?
Aye.
Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Ms. Garten?
Aye.
Myself, aye. And again, Mr. Hendricks is not here. Motion passes. Second point, filing of the written examination results. Chief?
I believe this is just a formality. The Merit Commission has to, we are filing, and I believe you have them have the scores in front of you. We just want to file them officially with the Merit Commission.
Thank you, sir. Any discussion on the chief's proposal? Mr. Crouch?
No.
Ms. Powers?
No.
Ms. Garten?
No.
And the chair will entertain a motion to accept the proposal and go to vote.
And that's 41 applicants, right?
Unless it's changed, I have 41, is that correct? The 41 applicants will proceed to the oral on May 17th?
Captain Snyder, you want to weigh in on that? I thought it was 43.
That's correct. 43 applicants will be moving on.
Okay.
Okay.
So it is 43, sir?
Correct.
Okay. That was different than what we had. So the corrected, it is 43 applicants will proceed to the oral interview scheduled for the week of May 17th. So we went through discussion, roll call vote.
We don't have a motion, did we?
Yeah, yes, we did. Ms. Powers and Ms. Garten.
Okay.
It was when we went to go to the vote, we had a change in the numbers. Ms. Powers brought up discussion about the numbers to be sure it was correct, and it was not. It was 43. But just to be sure, do I have a motion to approve the 43 applicants that will proceed to the oral interview?
I'll motion.
We have a first,
Second.
second. Now vote, please. Mr. Crouch,
Aye.
Ms. Powers,
Aye.
Ms. Garten,
Aye.
myself, aye, and Mr. Hendrickson is not present, so passed. Chief, anything
I just wanted to thank you all for really scrambling this week. Not only did you have a special meeting on Monday, but you put your schedules aside on a Friday late afternoon to come here today and to be present virtually. And I personally and professionally really appreciate that. That's going to keep us moving, and it's going to keep us on schedule for two processes, a hiring process and a promotional process, both of which are so vital to the efficient operation of the department. So thank you all very much. Your presence here is not unnoticed by myself and the Lawrence Police Department.
You're very welcome, sir. Not a problem. I was also notified this week by the captain that she is requesting a special meeting in order for us to determine the minimum passing standards for the oral interview and the filing of the oral interview results. That information was given to me via an email, and I contacted Kathy, and we, between the dates, the parameters that Captain Snyder gave us, we were able to come up with the date of June 1st, 2020 at 6 p.m. as an acceptable time to get done what she needs done, and the room was available. So, Mr. Crouch, if you could put that on your calendar and let us know if you should be able. I know it's kind of a ways out, but we want to try to determine if we're going to have a quorum as soon as possible. And standing members in the room the same. As far as the regular meetings that we already have posted, that would be our May 10th meeting and our June 14th meeting. At this point, I'm going to leave them in place. I'd rather be safe than sorry on this. I will give a good 48 hours notice, basically the Friday before. If we're going to cancel, that's when I will let Kathy know, and she'll send the notices out for us. That way, if anything comes up with you, Chief, or anything comes up with any of the processes, we're giving it to the last minute. If we can fit it in, we'll fit it in. If not, that way,
Our best.
we'll do the special meetings when we need to, but if we can, fit it in, we'll try to fit them in. I'd rather do that than cancel it and then 2 days later go, oh, we need a new meeting, and it could have been done on the 10th. So basically, we're going to do a Friday rule, the Friday before that Monday, as long as Kathy or myself haven't heard anything about an agenda, then the notice will go out.
We
Now,
usually send a reminder out.
oh, absolutely.
Agenda item.
Absolutely. And there'll be a reminder, reference this one on June 1st also. Now, we are in a very fluid time. Matter of fact, a little bit of discussion was happening before the meeting, referenced the standing order that the governor has in place. If the order is continued and we have the valued feature of having virtual where we can have people, fantastic, we'll keep working with it. If not, then that's going to start to put, a little bit more, I don't want to use the word pressure, but due diligence on commission members to be sure to let us know, hey, this is the meeting we're having, do we have a quorum? So when you get these reminders from either myself or most likely Kathy, she's been doing a fantastic job handling that for me. Please respond back. And I understand up to the minute things can happen and people can change, but that way it allows us, if we already know we're not going to have the quorum, we can start the process of rescheduling that. So as the chief said, we can continue to conduct the department's business. So I would appreciate that. On that note, we will stand adjourned at 5:18.